The iconic French Flyback Chronograph is back in a retro-styled, smaller, hand-wound and no-date version, and it's simply stunning. Well, actually, we have two versions. If you've been watching some of our videos on monochrome, you probably know that we tend to remain pretty neutral. Why? Well, because we believe that you are wise enough to make your own judgment. But today, I'll be a little biased. After all, we are all watch enthusiasts at monochrome. We love watches in general, and as you can imagine, we each have our own preferences. And for me, the Breguet Type 20 and all other watches based on the Type 20 set of specifications are among my all-time favorites. I have a personal connection with this watch, not only because I'm French. Yes, I'm a bit chauvinistic here. I'm French after all, what do you expect? No, the real reason is actually on my wrist, and it's my personal watch. It's a 1990s Type 20, reference 3800, and it's a family heritage that I really cherish. And I've also spent a lot of time studying the history of the Type 20. So, sorry, but this video is going to be a bit more enthusiastic than normal. Why? Because the latest release of Breguet in its pilot collection are simply stunning. And they're also a bit promising for what to expect in the future. I'm not going to remake the entire history of the Breguet Type 20 here. Maybe we should do a long video about that. Well, let us know in the comments if you want to see that. But, okay, going back to the Type 20, short reminder, it's not exclusive to Breguet. It's actually the codename for a set of specifications defined by the French Air Force that wanted to equip its pilot with a chronograph with retour en vol, flyback, and a rotating bezel. Several companies competed and won the contracts, which meant that several brands would produce Type 20 watches. Dodane, Auricoste, Maté Tissot, Hérin, Vixar, and of course, Breguet. For the latter, the prototypes submitted by the company in 1952 were approved in 1953 by the Service Technique Aéronautique. In 1954, the French Air Force placed an order for 1,100 military Type 20 watches, which were delivered between 1955 and 1959. Let's now look at the modern history of the Breguet Type 20. So the classic 3800 was discontinued in the late 2010s, and the replacement came in 2023. It was high-tech 42mm watches with a new in-house automatic movement. It was launched in two versions. A military-inspired Type 20 2.0 with bicompax dial and fluted bezel, and a civilian Type 20 XX with tricompax dial and a 12-hour bezel. And yes, these were probably not what hardcore enthusiasts like me were expecting. Date window on the dial felt unnecessary, 42mm diameter too large, the movement almost too technical. Basically, what collectors were expecting was commercial versions of the unique pieces made for only watch 2019 and 2021. Pure vintage re-editions with a compact case and a hand-wound movement. But now we're in 2025 and two important things to be considered. First, Breguet has a new CEO, Gregory Kissling, who has a deep understanding of watchmaking, but also what collectors would like to have on their wrist. Second, it's the 250th anniversary of the brand. And part of a wide collection that will be released all along the year, we have these two new Type 20 models. And they look stunning, especially the black version. First of all, yes, these are gold watches. Breguet gold watches, to be precise, with the brand proprietary alloy, which will be on all the watches for the 250th anniversary. So for the occasion, Breguet releases not one, but two watches. One as a tribute to the past, the other one as a more unusual take on the concept with a quite surprising dial. And what matters is that the original concept of the fourth generation of the Breguet Type 20, released in 2023, has been heavily reworked. Why? Because we are now looking at two drastically reduced, slimmed down, streamlined watches with historical dimensions and a hand-wound movement. And now that's what I wanted to see in the Type 20 from day one. So let's start with the case, shared by both editions, which retain the classic look of the 1950s civilian Type 20 watches, with a bidirectional bezel, 12-hour scale, and short twisted lugs. The connection with the past goes even stronger in proportions, as the two new models now measures only 38.3mm in diameter, same as the old watches, and the two unique pieces for only watch. The thickness, thanks to the hand-wound movement, has also been reduced to 13.2 mm versus 14.1 for the automatic models, despite the thick box-shaped sapphire crystal on top. Basically, that's the same thickness as a Speedmaster Moonwatch, and it actually wears even thinner on the wrist. It's compact, retro-styled, comfortable, short, fantastic to wear. Basically, that's the case we wanted to see for the 4th generation of the Type 20. The case, as we said, made of Breguet gold, it's a combination of gold, silver, copper and palladium, is satin finished with a few polished accents, features a screwed case back with sapphire crystal, a flat crown and is water resistant to 50 meters. The only difference between the two editions regarding the case is the scale on the bezel. It's in black on the non-limited edition and in blue on the limited version. Let's now talk about what differs most between the two versions. First of all, they both get rid of the date window on the dial. So the most talked about version, and the one that I find the most appealing, is the black version. Why? Because it's the classic look of a Type 20. It's a bit predictable, but it looks exactly like it should. And the base of the dial is made of anodized aluminum. It's pure black, but with the gold case, the gold hands, it almost feels like dark brown. And for this edition, Breguet has chosen a 2-register layout with the emblematic big eye counter at 3 o'clock. As classic as it can be. The hands, in gold, are serine-shaped and the smaller minute hand is pear-shaped and luminous. And the minute counter is a 15-minute counter, with large luminous markers every 3 minutes. Yes, it's a bit weird, but that's part of the charm of the Type 20. You'll find loomed numerals all around in beige, and overall it's super clean and only the applied Breguet logo reminds you of the origin of the watch. The second model is a bit more surprising, as actually it's not based on any historical version. It's limited to 250 pieces, and the dial is made of solid silver with a brushed finish and an unprecedented layout for the Pilot Chronograph. We have applied baton markers, numerals at 12 and 6, equal size sub-counters, and the dial is framed by a tachymeter scale. Also, the hands are different. It has a 30-minute counter, and the central second hand is blued to match the transfer on the dial. And there is the retour en vol, French for flyback, mentioned also. This is certainly a very good-looking watch, and I'm sure some will love it. But I'm a bit of a snob with the Type 20, and I really prefer the original look of the black model. If you turn the watch over, you'll see a new movement. Or, to be precise, a reworked version of the automatic movement found in the larger models, except that it's now hand-wound and thinner. So the black edition comes with caliber 72-79, and the silver model has the caliber 72-78. The only difference is the 15 or 30-minute counter. It's a fine, modern movement with a high-beat 5 Hz frequency, silicone hairspring, and escape wheel. The chronograph is controlled by a column wheel and a vertical clutch, and the power reserve is rated at 60 hours. For the occasion of the celebrations, the movements are gilded in Breguet gold, and the main bridge has been hand-engraved with a Breguet aircraft. It's a tribute to the other side of the Breguet family, who were aviators. Both versions of the Breguet Type 20 Chronograph 2075 are worn on a leather strap with a Breguet gold pink buckle. And yes, they come at a price. The black one is priced at 42,800 euros and the silver one at 44,600 euros. And it's actually more than double the price of the 42mm steel models. But let me end this video on a potentially very positive note. At least, maybe we start with a suggestion for Breguet. There's absolutely no doubt that the black model is a winner. It wears fantastic, it's compact, it's quite thin, and it feels like the modern Type 20 I've been waiting for years. So please, Breguet, Mr. Kissling, make a non-precious metal and maybe less decorated movement inside, even a closed case back, at a more reasonable price. I'm sure it will be a commercial success. And that will make me very happy. Now, as a final note, Gregory Kissling said these two things on the record. First, he said that the collection will evolve in terms of diameter, finishes, and material. Second, when asked about a potential version in a more affordable material, his answer was stay tuned. I am very tuned indeed. I hope you've liked this video. Please let us know what you think about these new Type 20 watches and what you would like to see in the future. And I'll catch you soon.